I'm sure you bought it last
Several
week.
rounds of tickets.
Yeah.
You bought the whole front row.
Every day
I don't know
is
why you don't have a
Barbie
pink
Day.
tie on, Reynolds. I thought that you would.
Oh my gosh.
And bleached your hair blonde so you could, you know, walk
matches
in,
a little bit, doesn't
walk
it?
into the movie.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I can see that. Kind of works. It's appropriate.
There's a really great feature that Climate Central did on how to make Barbie's dream house more friendly to the environment, which is very interesting. I shared it on Instagram.
Very cool.
Because, you know, back when Barbie was first created, we had a different climate.
I wonder if Barbie's worried about microplastics, given that
She's
all
plastic. That's great, Felicia. Good call. All right, you guys, have a good Friday. Enjoy the movie.
See ya.
We'll keep it going. Thanks for choosing America's Morning Headquarters right here to get you through the mid-morning hours.
Right, the Weather Channel is helping you plan for the big events ahead. We've got some big events ahead, of course, with the heat wave going to expand to places that have not seen much heat yet this summer.
Yes, and the places that are hot, stay hot.
Stay hot.
And actually get hotter. So we're going to look at what's going on. You already probably noticed, you've been watching us all week. There's a lot more red and pink on this map. And
There
that's
is.
because there's more heat.
That's right, and it's going to continue to grow slowly northward. That's the secret right here. So Chicago, Madison, Wisconsin, Kansas City, Minneapolis, it's going to get hot next week.
Meanwhile, thunderstorms have been such a feature lately, plowing across the country. Seems like this, very ominous in the Great Lakes, Northeast, Plains.
My
Oncoming
house
storms.
yesterday.
The South, yes.
Some places in my town are still without power after last night. I've lived here 10 years. We haven't been without power for a 14-hour stretch before, and it's going to continue on that way today.
Nasty thunderstorms, a lot of lightning with those as well. So we're going to track today's storms and show you what's going to happen for the weekend. Plus, we are keeping an eye on the tropics, the number of areas that we're watching out there. Things looking like they're starting to heat up.
Yeah, the area that we picked out yesterday, which was not the area to watch, actually is now in Invest, and the area to watch, which is moving toward the west. Interest in the Caribbean. Heads up, we'll have more on that in a little bit.
Yeah, you called that yesterday here, so you were talking about that. But we've got a hot storm summer rolling on in today's big deal. So let's dive into some of these record-breaking numbers. We will start with what happened in North Carolina. That was an impressive tornado.
It was, and a couple days ago, we sort of unexpectedly had a severe thunderstorm. That's one record for the books.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not a good one, and we have more.
Numerous rainfall records set this month, at least the daily records, but we may have set a monthly record here. That will for the entire state any month of the year.
Unbelievable, just this week.
Yeah.
And we have more, unfortunately. We have hail, right? We have tennis ball-sized hail.
How about a bonfire? Maybe not in Phoenix, but it's a great way to get together with friends and family for the holiday weekend at any time in the summer, really. So we'll take a look at your bonfire forecast presented by Hershey S'mores. And here is a look at La Crosse, Wisconsin, where temperatures are going to be in the low 80s, cooling into the 70s. Really nice evening here. Nice to set up that bonfire. Keeps the bugs away, right? And maybe make those s'mores. Let's look at the forecast for you in Stillwater, Oklahoma. We get rid of the rain that we had in Oklahoma heating up, but so are the thunderstorms. And so get ready for another day where we're going to have dealing with storms, watching the radar, perhaps warnings, maybe hail, maybe wind, isolated tornadoes. I got it all.
It almost feels like spring, given the fact that we've had so many thunderstorms, but it's summer with the heat and the humidity. So you combine it all together, you get a lot of heavy rain, and of course a lot of the severe weather as well. So we've got a lot to talk about, including severe weather.
Yes, let's get to the Northeast first, where thunderstorms came through here last night. A lot of it came overnight. That was kind of lucky because it did cut down on the amount of severe that you saw coming through eastern Pennsylvania, eastern New York. Here comes that main batch, right? It's fizzled quite a bit considerably. However, that's going to change through today. So don't think this is the trend. It is not. We are going to see things ramping back
Spinning
up.
up a tropical cyclone in the midst of a Saharan air layer outbreak, it ain't going to happen.
Right. So let's look at the forecast. And we are going to look at St. John, St. Thomas, whether you're traveling there, the British Virgin Islands, a similar forecast across this area. Temps are going to be as typical into the upper 80s.
Right. Let's have a live look at Kansas. The temperature has only been, 90 degrees 6 times so far this year, or this month, I should say. And that's going to change. It is going to get very hot in Kansas City eventually.
Is that below average?
That is below average.
To have that many, or little.
That few.
Yeah, headquarters to get you through the mid-morning hours.
Right, the Weather Channel is helping you plan for the big events ahead, and we've got lots of plans and big events ahead. The heat is going to be a big story.
Yeah.
It's been in the South.
It has been.
But it's going to be in places that it hasn't been going into next week.
Hard to imagine this is going to be a bigger story than it has been because it's been stealing headlines. You know, everyone's talking about the heat in the Southwest, including in Phoenix, even though they're usually hot. This has been next level.
And only a couple of degrees on the warm side of average in places like Phoenix and Vegas and other places in El Paso. That's a lot
Yeah.
for the middle of July. A few degrees takes you into excessive heat territory.
It's been a stormy week as well, especially up to the north of this heat.
Right.
And for spots in the south, in the Midwest, the Great Lakes, the Northeast, you might have seen this in your sky.
This is what I saw from my place. This is not my video, by the way. It's too off.
But you got a view like this.
I had a view like that.
Whoa.
The storms came over North Georgia yesterday with gusty winds of 30 to 40 miles per hour, and even more than that in some spots. And I think a lot of places have seen images like this over the past week.
I had a lightning strike this close to my house. My daughter came downstairs and we felt it. And we said, this is why you stay inside.
Stay inside.
Yeah, when thunder roars.
Thunder roars, go indoors. Now, the tropics are also trying to heat up, too, right in front of our very eyes. And we have an invest now, something a bit more specific than we had yesterday. We'll get into that in a second.
Okay, well, coming up, more on that. Plus, the hot storm summer rolls on in today's big deal. Mother Nature.